This is We Have a Problem podcast. I'm Charles Hall, and it's an honor to be here with you. This podcast was built for leadership conversations and problem solving. Leadership is one of my favorite subjects to think through, talk about. If you have developed an awareness of who you are and the value that you bring across different arenas and areas that occupies a defining portion of the leadership picture. I believe there is another phase that matters just as much. Helping others to discover and develop that same awareness or levels of awareness is where leadership can shift from busyness to betterment. To that end, and with your permission, let's begin and let's build. As a leader, I've noticed over time that execution can be confused with energy. Energy can start things, it can spark movement and create early momentum, but energy fades. And when it does, whatever remains is what actually carries the work forward. Sustainable excellence has never depended on motivation alone. It depends on structure, clarity, and systems that can outlast adrenaline rush. You could be passionate, gifted, and deeply committed to the vision and still find yourself frustrated by inconsistency or efficiency, not because something is missing in you, not because your team lacks heart, but because execution reveals areas that need refinement rather than more effort. Execution can reveal areas that really need adjustments, more refinement, and not more effort. Because more effort applied to the same way that you're trying to accomplish something will give you more results in the wrong way. I remember a time when I was at a bowling alley in the Chicagoland area, and I love bowling, and I was shooting some good games, 285, 265, 245, 255, and I would bottom out with like a 165 or 175. And the guy comes up and says, "Hey, my name is Eugene. What's your name?" I said, "I'm Charles." And he goes on to ask me, "Do you have really good games and then not so good games?" I said, "You were you watching me play?" He said, "Oh no, I've only watched you play one game." I said, "Really?" I said, "I'm listening." He says, "Charles, you have a good release from your hand when the ball leaves your hand and goes down the lane, but your positioning on the lane before you release the ball, it's off. You start on one board and you end up on 4 or 5 boards to the right. By the time you release the ball," he said, "Charles, that alone will make your game inconsistent. You're practicing, which is good, but you're practicing how to do it the wrong way. And you're gonna see the fluctuation in good games and not so good games. But if you wanna become more accurate, I would approach the lane like so. Listen to me today. When I say that my game changed drastically, that would be an understatement. I probably didn't shoot 280s and 270s as much as I wanted to. One, I needed to practice more, but I was more consistent at the 250s and 245s and reaching higher goals in my game versus bottoming out with 160s, 170s. What he was teaching me then was, Charles, you can practice, but if you practice the wrong way, it leads you down the lane with the scores that you are getting, which are up, which are down. And this is the lanes of leadership. These are the lanes of leadership. It's like having a powerful engine with poor alignment. The strength is there, but the direction keeps pulling off course. I could put all my energy into working on my game and forcing that ball down the lane to get strikes and missing spares and moving boards while I'm trying to release the ball to get in the pocket. But energy fades. True structure, systems that are applied with strategy and strategic alignment, all that remains. Structure remains. When structure is in place, people no longer have to guess how to carry what has been placed in their hands. Clear systems do not shorten the journey, they reduce confusion, they prevent unnecessary detours, and they make the work sustainable over time. Execution is not about doing more, it's about carrying what matters the right way, the right way at the lanes, the right way at the lanes for the long haul. Before anything can be built, aligned, or sustained, it has to be communicated clearly enough to leave the leader and live in the hands of others. Everything begins with communication. Before anything is built, something is said. Before anything moves, something must be understood well enough to be carried out by someone other than the leader. Eugene came to me that day and said, Charles, you have a good release. You actually have a good game, but let me help you adjust it. And I listened to the communication and it changed the way I see bowling. It changed the way I look at life, but it started with communication. Blueprints matter long before concrete is poured. Vision does not move at the speed of intention. It moves at the pace of clarity. Intention can be sincere and still be unclear, which is why vision often lives in the heart of the leader instead of the hands of the team. It's like a recipe that never leaves someone's head or heart, and therefore the ingredients don't come together and it never feeds anyone else. Scripture tells us, write the vision and make it plain so those who read it may run with it. That assumes that someone is close enough to read it, trusted enough to carry it, and clear enough to move with it. When I move, you move. Confusion rarely means people are unwilling. It usually means that they are unsure. When clarity is missing, people do not stop working, they just simply work in the wrong direction. Like me at the lanes of life, like rowing hard without a compass and wondering why the shoreline never changes. Someone's favorite restaurant may be a small mom and pop spot. Another person may define excellence at a completely different scale. Michelin stars, curated experiences, precision at every touch point. The standard may shift, but the experience always. It always tells the truth. There are people who have lived longer than I have, and they have asked, hey, can you mentor me? Can you help me beyond what you do on the regular? I need some help in different aspects and areas of my life and leadership roles and in the marketplace and in the ministry. It's truly humbling and it's heartfelt. And I've recognized that authority is not always granted by position. Often it is entrusted through posture. There are people who will pause what they're doing, if necessary, and make room in their schedules to make things happen off of a request. Not because my voice is loud, but my tone has complemented what I produce. Authority is not in the volume of my voice. It's in the value of my vernacular distribution over time. Tone is how leadership travels before you arrive. I don't manipulate. I matriculate. I do not abuse authority that has been given to me. And with God's grace, I do my best to steward it well. To care for his people, to protect their dignity, and to build in such a way that honors both the worker and the work. Worker first, then the work. With the right tone. Tone is not about avoiding truth. I believe I'm a strong leader, but I don't have to be tyrannical to be tough. I don't have to make people feel disenfranchised, dismembered. And in return, they have a dissident's disposition based on how I handle them. It's about delivering truth in such a way that people can grow from it. It's about delivering truth in such a way that people can really grow from the moment. Different scenarios, different nuances, implementing strategies, surveying what takes place, and adjusting for what's to come. This is how leaders remain strong without becoming destructive. Texture reveals intent. Strong leadership does not require harshness. Authority does not require abrasion. Correction does not require humiliation. Because of this, hear me, because of this, I have relational equity with people built over time. And when something comes, when something needs to get done, I have so much invested in them, not just me telling them what to do, but having my heart to build them as we get stuff done. Oh man, the work gets done. It gets done. And they become better because of it. If my hands are building, but the environment I create is dismantling, it's counterintuitive. I now introduce friction into the very thing that I'm trying to grow. Friction rarely stops progression immediately. It slows it quietly. When the environment supports the standard, leadership and responsibility meets power and practicality. People still need to be equipped. Once the standard is clear and the environment supports it, the next responsibility is simple but critical. Do people actually have what they need to do what is being asked of them? Vision without tools creates frustration. Expectation without resources creates fatigue. Standards without support eventually creates resentment. No one enjoys being evaluated on tools they never had or never were given to accomplish the task at hand, with hands, with hearts. Tools translate vision from intention to implementation. This matters especially for visionaries because vision often outspaces infrastructure. Visionaries think ahead, they are ahead, they go ahead. Healthy leadership names the gap without shaming the people who are standing in the gap. This is where we are. This is where we are going. This is what we can do well for right now. When tone is healthy, tools feel like support instead of scrutiny. Sometimes doing fewer things well builds more trust than doing many things poorly. Even with the right tools in hand, progress still requires order. Doing the right thing at the wrong time can weaken the results. My bowling game. Excellence has a rhythm. Timing protects the quality, preventing both rushing and stagnation. Rushing can produce quick results and rob sustainability. Stagnation can feel safe and quietly suffocate momentum. Timing does not delay excellence, it protects it. It is the pause that allows the team to acknowledge what was accomplished, what was learned, and who they have become while doing the work. It's people, then project. It's people, then project. You celebrate the people, you build the people, you invest in your people, celebrate the project, you marry those two together, and now you have multiplication and people better because of it and momentum for the next project. This is also where adjustment lives. Leaders, this is where we decide what carries forward, what needs to be refined, and what should be left behind. It's delegate, mitigate, automate, or eliminate. Delegate, mitigate, automate, or eliminate. Those four aspects will help you flow and function. But in this space, you get to decide, what do we eliminate? What don't we keep? It can be good, but is it best? It's not bad, but is it best? When all of this is working together, execution stops feeling abstract and starts becoming livable. When I step back and look at all of this together, the simplest way I can describe it is the difference between owning the land and living on it. You can own the land and never build. You can build and never move in. You can move in and never maintain it. Eventually, even a beautiful structure doesn't stay that way if no one takes the responsibility on how it's lived in. What is said sets the plan. How it feels determines whether people stay. What is provided enables the work. When it happens, it protects the foundation. And reflection shapes what comes next. This kind of execution does not begin with movement. It begins with distinction, clarity of communication. And it ends with celebratory moments for the next move. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this has helped you, share it with someone so that they can build something impactful, meaningful, and lasting. My name is Charles Hall. This is We Have a Problem. I'll catch you on the next one.